Welcome to another quarterly portfolio update. If you are stopping by for the first time, please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. In this video, I will share with you how much I invested in my taxable account during the fourth quarter of 2025, how many shares I bought, and the value of the portfolio at the end of the quarter, which was December the 31st. I will also show you how much dividend I received for the quarter and for the entire year of 2025. But as always, before I continue, a quick disclaimer. The information that I'm sharing is not financial advice. Before you invest in anything, please do your own research and make sure that you only invest in things that you understand. With that being said, I will dive right into my quarterly portfolio update. I will start with a quick recap of my Q3 2025 portfolio to show you the value of the portfolio and how many shares I had before the beginning of Q4 2025. The total value of my portfolio at the end of Q3 2025 was $112,056.40. $111,851.70 was the market value of my investments, and the $204.70 was a cash amount. At the end of Q3 2025, the total unrealized profit of my portfolio was $36,458.84. This was plus of 48.16%. These are my holdings: 2 Vanguard ETFs and 2 BlackRock ETFs. VCN is a Vanguard ETF that tracks the Canadian market. I had 110 shares of VCN at the end of Q3 2025. VFV is a Vanguard ETF that tracks the S&P 500 index. This is the Canadian version of a VOO. I had 350 shares of VFV at the end of Q3 2025. XEQT is a BlackRock ETF. This is an all-in-one equity ETF that holds Canadian equities, US equities, developed market equities outside of North America, and emerging market equities. If you want to hold a single equity ETF that is globally diversified, you might consider looking into XEQT or its Vanguard equivalent, VEQT. I had 620 shares of XEQT at the end of Q3 2025. XUU is a BlackRock ETF that tracks the US total stock market, and I had 340 shares of XUU at the end of Q3 2025. I will now show you how much I invested during the fourth quarter of 2025 and how many shares I bought. I bought 6 shares of VCN. The cost per share was $62.58. The total cost, $375.50. This is 7% of the amount that I invested in Q4 2025. I bought 15 shares of VFV. The cost per share was $166.32. The total cost, $2,494.80. This is 49% of the amount that I invested in Q4 2025. I bought 30 shares of XEQT. The cost per share was $39.39. The total cost, $1,181.77. This is 23% of the amount that I invested in Q4 2025. I bought 15 shares of XUU. The cost per share was $68.65. The total cost, $1,029.78. And this is 20% of the amount that I invested in Q4 2025. In total, I bought 66 shares, all the ETFs combined, and the amount that I invested in Q4 2025 was $5,081.85. This is $325.29 less than the amount that I invested in Q3 2025. As you can see, in Q3, I invested $5,407.14, and in Q4, I invested $5,081.85. The difference is minus $325.29. The total value of my portfolio at the end of Q4 2025 was $118,561.95. $118,558.50 was the market value of my investments, and $3.45 was a cash amount. At the end of Q4 2025, the total unrealized profit of my portfolio was $37,983.79. This was plus 47.14%. At the end of Q4 2025, which was December the 31st, I had 116 shares of VCN. This was 6.31% of the market value of my portfolio. 365 shares of VFV. This was 51.29% of the market value of my portfolio. 650 shares of XEQT. This was 21.87% of the market value of my portfolio. 355 shares of XUU. This was 20.52% of the market value of my portfolio. Alright, let's now take a look at how much dividend I received for the quarter. To receive an upcoming dividend payment, you have to be the shareholder on the record date. I had 116 shares of VCN on the record date. The dividend amount per share was 39 cents. The dividend amount that I received for VCN was $45.02. This is 10% of the dividend amount that I received in Q4 2025. I had 365 shares of VFV on the record date. The dividend amount per share was 39 cents. The dividend amount that I received for VFV was $143.42. This is 32% of the dividend amount that I received in Q4 2025. I had the 650 shares of XEQT on the record date. The dividend amount per share was 21 cents. The dividend amount that I received for XEQT was $133.48. This is 30% of the dividend amount that I received in Q4 2025. I had the 355 shares of XUU on the record date. The dividend amount per share was 35 cents. The dividend amount that I received for XUU was $124.97. And this is 28% of the dividend amount that I received in Q4 2025. The total dividend amount that I received in Q4 2025 was $446.89. This is $165.48 more than the amount that I received in Q3 2025. As you can see, in Q3 2025, I received $281.41, and in Q4 2025, I received $446.89. The difference is plus $165.48. All the ETFs paid a higher dividend amount per share in Q4 than they did in Q3. However, it's the BlackRock ETFs that had the highest payout increase in Q4. You can see on this dividend payout table that XUU paid 35 cents in Q4 versus 16 cents in Q3. This is an increase of 127.12%. Actually, this is the first time that I have seen XUU increase its payout by more than 100%, or even by 100%. As for XEQT, it paid almost 21 cents in Q4 versus 10 cents in Q3. This is an increase of 105.36%. XEQT pays high dividend amount per share in Q2 and Q4 than it does in Q1 and Q3, so I was expecting this payout increase for XEQT. If its dividend payout policy remains consistent with the past years, I will receive a lower dividend amount per share for XEQT in Q1 2026, which will be at the end of March. VCN paid 39 cents in Q4 versus 36 cents in Q3. This is a modest increase of 8.03%. VFV had the lowest payout increase. It paid 39 cents in Q4 versus 37 cents in Q3. This is an increase of 6.94%. The total amount of dividend that I received in 2025 was $1,339.81. This is $307.59 more than the amount that I received in 2024. As you can see, in 2024, I received $1,032.22. And in 2025, I received $1,339.81. The difference is plus of $307.59. In terms of dividend, my goal for 2025 was to reach 1,300, which I did. For 2026, I will conservatively aim for 1,500. The ETFs that I hold are not dividend-oriented. They are growth-oriented, but they pay quarterly dividend. Since I am on my wealth building phase, I reinvest all the dividends that I receive. Dividend reinvesting allows to buy more shares that in turn will pay dividend. This plus the shares price appreciation will boost your overall portfolio return and speed up your path to wealth. Here is an example that illustrates the power of dividend reinvesting. A $100,000 investment made in 1990 in a fund tracking the S&P 500 index would have been worth more than $2.1 million by the end of 2022 had the dividends been reinvested, but only $1.1 million had the dividends not been reinvested. The difference between the two ending amounts is over $1 million, which is a substantial amount. This really shows the power of dividends reinvesting in building wealth through the stock market. Alright, I will share my Q1 2026 dividend update in 3 months. In the meantime, I will stay the course and keep investing consistently. Feel free to leave a comment below. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Peace out.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire.